They told you to be realistic. They told you to wait your turn, to play it safe, to think inside the lines because the outside was for dreamers, not doers. But here's the truth they never taught you in school, in society, or in silence. Every dream that ever shook the world started as nothing more than an invisible belief. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb with facts, he did it with faith. Wright brothers didn't get off the ground with evidence, they flew with belief in what could be. Walt Disney didn't build an empire because it was logical, he did it because the fire inside him refused to die, and every person you admire, the icons, the legends, the titans of time, they all had one thing in common. They believed in something they could not yet see. Faith isn't religious. It's not wishful thinking. It's the bridge, the only bridge, between the life you dream of and the one you wake up to. Because until you believe in the vision, until your mind aligns with the mission, the world cannot deliver what your heart is screaming for. Look around you. Everything you see, the buildings, the machines, the music, the movements, was once an idea, fragile and uncertain, cradled in the hands of someone with unshakable faith, faith in themselves, faith in their vision, faith in the process, even when it broke them. And if you listen closely, the universe is whispering the same message to you right now. You are not here to blend in. You are here to believe until it bends the world. Because belief is the birthplace of greatness, and without faith you will hesitate, you will delay, you will sabotage, because doubt is the destroyer of destiny. No man ever built an empire while second, guessing every brick. No woman ever transformed the world while needing proof it could be done. The evidence comes after the leap, not before, and that's the paradox that traps the masses. They want results before they commit. They want certainty before they move, but champions decide it's real before it exists. They act as if. They walk through walls the world can't even see yet, because in their mind the reality is already built. That is the kind of belief that bends fate. That is faith. So don't you dare wait for permission. Don't you dare shrink your soul to fit the comfort of the crowd. You weren't born to play small. You were born to test the limits of what's possible and burn the map on your way. The bridge between who you are and who you must become is built with every step you take in the dark, with fire in your heart and faith in your bones. Because dreams don't belong to the lucky. They belong to the bold. They belong to the obsessed. They belong to the man or woman who stands in front of the impossible and says, I believe in it anyway. Belief is not passive. It is not soft. It is not just a thought in your head. It is a command to your entire life. The man who truly believes moves differently. He walks with conviction. He speaks with power. He acts with urgency, because clarity of belief sharpens everything. It cuts through the noise, it silences the doubt, and it pulls the future into the now. Andrew Carnegie once said, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate physical forms available. This is not a maybe. This is law. The mind is the blueprint, belief is the foundation, and clarity is the architect that makes sure every part of your vision fits the empire you are here to build. So if your life feels chaotic, confused, or stuck, it's not because the dream is wrong. It's because the picture in your mind is blurred. You're staring through fog and hoping for fire, but fire needs focus. You must see the life you want with such piercing clarity that the world starts to take shape around your vision. Ford didn't build the first car by asking the world what they needed. He said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. He had a vision, and he believed in it with such clarity that he didn't need approval, he needed execution. That's the difference. The average wait for signs. The greats become the signal. You cannot afford to waver any more. Wavering kills momentum, and momentum is what separates the man dreaming about the mountain from the man climbing through it. Clarity means you decide what your life will become, then align your every word, every step, every habit to that vision like your survival depends on it, because it does. You are either building your dream with faith or slowly suffocating it with hesitation. There is no neutral path, no middle lane. The universe responds to certainty, and faith, real faith, gives you certainty without evidence. The world will call it madness. Let them. The world called Edison a lunatic when he tried 10-0 times to capture light. The world laughed at Disney when he was fired for lacking imagination. The world ignored opera until she became unignorable. What all of them had and what you must have is a vision so real it burns your fear alive. That kind of faith scares people, because when you believe deeply, you become dangerous, not to others, to limitation, to mediocrity, to the lies they sold you about what's realistic. So decide right now. Decide that the dream in your mind is not optional, it is inevitable, and once you see it, clearly feel it, embody it, become it, because the bridge from dream to reality is not made of magic. It's made of a mind that won't bend and feet that won't stop moving. Purpose is not something you find. It's something you decide. You draw a line in the sand and say, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is what I will become no matter what stands in my way. And once you choose that purpose, it becomes a sacred fire. One that demands fuel, one that devours excuses, one that refuses to die in the face of struggle, because purpose without discipline is just a wish, and wishes don't build legacies, discipline does. Every king who ruled the impossible, every queen who broke boundaries, every soul who forged something eternal, they had a fire in their gut and a schedule in their hand. Discipline is the executioner of distraction. It's the daily war between who you were and who you said you'd become. And faith sharpens discipline, because when you believe that the result is already yours, showing up becomes sacred. You don't ask if you feel like it. You don't check the temperature of your mood. You move, because motion is prayer when it's aligned with purpose. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march because it was comfortable. He marched because purpose pushed him beyond fear. Nelson Mandela didn't endure decades in a prison cell because it made sense. He endured because purpose made it worth it, and so must you. You want the dream, then show the world your devotion, because the universe doesn't respond to noise. It responds to demonstration, and demonstration means discipline in motion. It means waking up when the world sleeps. It means saying no when everything screams yes. It means doing what's hard so the rest of your life can be legendary. Discipline is not punishment. It is the greatest freedom on earth, because the man with discipline owns his mind, owns his hours, owns his destiny. He does not kneel to the cravings of the moment, he kneels to the mission. And with every action you take, with every moment you silence the voice of weakness, you add another brick to the bridge between your dream and your reality. Because dreams are not delivered, they are earned. Earned in sweat, in solitude, in silence, in repetition so brutal and boring that most men quit before results ever arrive. But not you, not now, because you're not chasing comfort. You're chasing the version of yourself that can no longer be ignored. And that version, it doesn't care how long it takes. It doesn't care who doubts, who leaves, who mocks. It doesn't stop for applause or permission. It moves with faith. It builds with discipline, and it breaks through walls with relentless action. So today, do not ask what's easy. Ask what's necessary. Because when your belief is real and your purpose is clear, action is no longer optional, it's sacred. Life will test you. It won't whisper, it will roar. It will knock you down, drag you through storms, and rip your plans to shreds, not because it hates you, but because it's forging you, and the question is not, will it be hard? The question is, will you keep going anyway? Because the path to your dream will not be clean. It will be a battlefield, and if you think faith is just for the sunny days, you have misunderstood its power. Faith is forged in the fire. Real belief is born in the darkness when everything in your world says stop, but something in your soul says go. That's resilience, not the absence of pain, but the refusal to be defined by it. Abraham Lincoln lost 8 elections before he became president. 8 times the world said no, but Lincoln's belief didn't break, it deepened. Because faith doesn't retreat at rejection. It rises. Adaptability is the warrior's weapon. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't predict every storm, but you can become unshakable in the middle of one. The man who adapts becomes invincible. Because he no longer fears change, he uses it. He doesn't cry over shattered plans. He builds new ones out of the debris. He doesn't freeze when doors close. He kicks down the next one, because his faith wasn't in the door, it was in himself. You think Edison wanted to fail 0 times. You think Mandela wanted 27 years behind bars. You think Steve Jobs wanted to be fired from his own company. No. But they understood something. You don't get to the extraordinary by staying comfortable. You get there by enduring the pain of growth without letting it kill the vision. Resilience is faith with scars. It's belief that's been tested and refused to die, and that power, it's already inside you. You don't need to borrow strength. You need to uncover it, to remember that pain is not your enemy, it's your awakening. Every moment you didn't quit, you became stronger. Every time you showed up hurt, you became braver. And every setback that didn't break you, built you. The world only sees the glory, but you know the grit, the nights, the doubts, the voice that whispered, keep going, when no one else believed. That voice is still in you, louder now, wiser now, hungrier now, and it's waiting for you to rise, because your mission didn't vanish with your obstacles, it grew. So stand up, adjust your armor, look life in the eye and say, you may bend me, you will never break me. Because when your faith is anchored deep, nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop the one who refuses to stop.